Young black men are getting snatched off the streets of Washington, D.C., so this is not the time for us to be any quieter. This is the time to actually get louder. Because like this is literally that poem. Like they came for X and I didn't do anything. They came for Y, I didn't do anything. They came for Z, I didn't do anything. And then they came for me and there was no one there to do anything to stop them. There are a lot of black creators who have explained all of this much better than I can. But I feel like because my followers are a lot of different types of people, like I need to say this to you, if you're following me, that if you feel that even slight catch in your throat, that slight hesitation to post, to speak out, to do something for these black men that are being taken off the streets, for the homeless that are taken off the streets, that is the white supremacist indoctrination that you grew up with. That's telling you to hesitate. That's telling you to not say something. That's telling you to hold your breath for a second.
So what if you're a black person that actually don't disagree with the fact that we need to be cleaning up our streets and not just what's happening in DC, but every single major city, and we need to put a stop to the crime?
It's for me in kindergarten, where the kindergarten teacher just would not let the one black kid in our class move up the alphabet letter. It didn't matter if he got the letter right. She misheard it. In first grade, where he was the only person that our first grade teacher would just scream at with her entire being. It's being told your whole life in this white supremacist infrastructure, which by proxy, which means through this instrument, capitalism thrives, because capitalism in the end is the actual consumption of one's body and existence. Capitalism demands the enslavement of other people. Like capitalism is the reason why slave trade bloomed, came into existence. And so fighting against white supremacy means fighting against capitalism and speaking loudly for all.
Let me tell you what this is. This is fighting against white people in general. This is, I don't like this country, but I continue to exist in this country. And now you have people like, well, you don't just have white apologists, you also have Asian men who seem to be sassy just from identifying. I know he got the alphabet community bracelet on and stuff like that. So, just by, because communication is more than just what people say, it's what they wear, how they speak, when they speak, exactly what they're talking about, when they're saying it, so on and so forth. And so now you have a bunch of people who feel as though they need to speak about, in order to keep you on a Democrat plantation, what is happening in the community in which it's been destroyed over all of these years from people within the community. And when you finally get somebody that cleans it up, you got people like this that's saying, no, 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 speak out against it. What I would like for people to do is, honestly, because when the migrant crisis was happening, everybody was silent. It was a whisper. You heard nothing from liberals. You heard nothing from Democrats. You didn't hear anything from Asian people. You didn't hear anything from white people. You didn't hear anything from black people. You know who you heard it from? You heard it from the people that were affected the most within the communities, like Chicago Flips Red and on this platform. And if we didn't yell to the top of the mountains, who knows what have really happened, because they were letting tens of millions of people over here illegally, undocumented, and some of the people that were getting harmed and hurt the most, like Laken Riley, in which we had to create the Laken Riley Act once Trump got into office. Nobody had a conversation about it. And anytime you ask them about it, and they act like it didn't happen, and the police officers that was getting hit and all of this stuff, and all of the migrants that was getting shipped over to Springfield, everybody forgot about that, right? Oh no, they're not taking ducks and cats off the street and eating them and stuff like that. None of that stuff. We didn't get billions of dollars in these cities that are now going bankrupt over to illegal migrants. No, that didn't happen. It just didn't happen at all. And so what you see these people always doing, honestly, and this is what's really happening in the communities. You see people, first, they always on the wrong side of history. And then secondly, they're always asking you to join into something that is not best for you. I don't know anybody that has been raised in the hood that grew out of it and grew up from it and made it out, because very few of us made it out. And when I say make it out, I'm not just talking about survived. I'm talking about survived and then eventually grew out of that stupid mindset where we were always taught to vote Democrat, and then we always did the worst for our communities. I don't know any of these people that's saying, yo, we don't need more police presence. We don't need to keep our streets safer. We don't need crime, real stopping crime, not just reducing, stopping crime. And we don't need to make sure that we address homelessness, remove homelessness camps, and get these people into the spaces that they're supposed to be in. I don't know anybody, but you see all of these stupid people that are coming into these spaces and feeling compelled to speak on issues that don't have nothing to do with them. And now, because they don't live in these communities, they not participating in these communities, they're not affected by what's happening in these communities. The inner city, which have a less than 16% voter turnout rate, especially during off-season elections, they don't have nothing to say about that. Never a conversation to have about it whatsoever. But, I would like to hear from black people. I want to hear from other people that may or may not be affected by what's happening inside of these communities.
Trump is setting the black community back. At least that's what I'm hearing. So I was scrolling on this app and I came across a post from a content creator who said Trump is setting black people back. I was thinking to myself, how? I mean, you can't be talking about the rise in crime in the black community because he really doesn't have anything to do with that. That would be your Democrat mayors. It can't be the lack of accountability in your community because that would be your black leaders. So I'm really trying to understand what this content creator is trying to say. I'm sure that content creator is talking about the cuts that's about to happen due to the big, beautiful bill. You know that part about able-bodied people going to work and actually trying to make a living, working towards getting their benefits instead of sitting at home trying to collect it? Is that what you're referring to? So Trump is trying to set black people back. So how is he setting black people back for taking them off the very programs that took the black father out the households? Make it make sense.
None of this stuff makes sense. Honestly, and I've spoke about this on the Millionaire Morning Show, and I'm gonna continue to speak about it. I personally believe that the real agenda, hear me out. I believe that the real agenda is to keep us impoverished by keeping us on this hamster wheel. And I'm not talking about individually because individually, I know a lot of black people that are doing well. But keeping us on this hamster wheel, again, of being on a Democrat plantation, voting for things and being inside of things that don't positively affect us. If you really want to keep, a group of people down, then you let crime run rampant inside of their communities, who, by the way, is being perpetuated against themselves. And let's be clear, there are communities and crime happens in proximity, but not at this rate. Not at this rate. And more importantly, for any outside help or anybody that are speaking against this or speaking for something or speaking about something, I just think that it's important for them to advocate for the thing that's best for us, if that's what you just want to throw your hat into. And the thing that's best for us is actually to have less crime, less homelessness. Nobody is getting snatched off the streets and then being like, man, I would guarantee you that most of these people have never even worked with homeless people. And I ain't talking about volunteering 1 year back in 1995 on Thanksgiving. I guarantee you that none of these people has ever even dealt with people that are on the streets and how they operate and any of that type of stuff. To have our nation's capital in a lot of places become a tent city is crazy to me. It's insane. And so, since the mayors can't stop the crime in the communities, which y'all keep voting in the same people in the same identity politics, now we finally have people in there that is going to do the best for the community, and y'all complaining about that. Interesting. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments.